Here now we discuss our next topic, that is upthrust. You can easily notice that when any cork or any lighter object is pressed in the water, then that object rises up with a force. And you can even easily notice this thing while taking out water from the well. When the bucket of water is taken out from the well, then if the bucket of water is inside the well water, then you can easily lift it, and when it comes out of that well water, then it feels harder to lift that one. So why it happens? From here it is clear that objects inside the water appear to be lighter. So here what happens? Water applies force in upward direction on that object that is immersed either partially or wholly in the water. So here that force applied by the liquid in upward direction is called upthrust. That makes the object lighter, that makes object rises up. We can easily feel the upward force in water, and when it is applicable for water, then also for overall liquid. So here we define the upthrust as the resultant force acting on the object inside the liquid, either partially or wholly immersed in liquid. So here we define upthrust. So here you can see this is the definition of upthrust: the resultant upward force acting on an object when partially or wholly immersed in a liquid. So here suppose this is a vessel and a liquid is poured in it, and it contains liquid. When the object is kept in this liquid, then liquid applies pressure on this object. It applies force, external force on this object, right? And here this also applies force from bottom. So here this force, the force acting on this object, from bottom is greater than this all forces. So this object moves upward, rises up, either partially or wholly immersed. This object experiences an upthrust. So here this is the resultant upward force acting on an object when the partially or wholly immersed in a liquid. It is called upthrust. Now here upthrust depends upon three factors. The formula of upthrust, you can see it is denoted by U. Simply it is nothing but a force, right? Upthrust. It depends upon three things, that is volume, V, D, G, right? Where V is the volume of liquid displaced, right? Into D is the density of liquid. And G is the acceleration due to gravity. So here this is the formula of upthrust. This is the formula to calculate upthrust: volume of liquid displaced into density of liquid, and here multiply acceleration due to gravity. That is, we simply write VdG. It is denoted by V, it is denoted by D, it is denoted by small g, VdG. So this is the formula of upthrust. Now we discuss the factors affecting upthrust. Here you can see these are factors that affect upthrust: volume of liquid displaced, density of liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. So now we discuss in detail. Here you can see these are the factors affecting upthrust. First number, volume of liquid or fluid displaced. Here volume of liquid or fluid displaced means that this is the volume of object immersed in that water or liquid. So either we can write here volume of liquid displaced, upthrust is directly proportional to the volume of liquid displaced, or volume of object immersed in it, right? So this is here upthrust. Since upthrust is directly proportional to the volume, greater the volume, the greater will be the upthrust on it. Larger the volume, larger will be the upthrust exerted on it. Here we take one example to understand it clearly. We take here two empty bottles. One is a smaller one and another is greater one. Means one is of small volume and another has large volume. So here when when we just try to dip it in water or liquid, then we find that we can easily dip a small volume of bottle in water very easily, but we feel difficulty to dip that larger volume of bottle in water. It is because the larger volume of bottle experiences more upthrust due to that volume, because the volume acting on it larger bottle is greater, comparatively greater than the volume of that on the small plastic bottle, right? So here upthrust is directly proportional to volume. If the volume will be larger, larger will be the upthrust acting on it. Second number here, density of fluid. Upthrust is directly proportional to the density of fluid. It means larger will be the density, larger will be the upthrust on it. We take one example to understand clearly. We see that iron nail sinks in water whereas it floats on mercury. It is because mercury has more density and it exerts more upthrust on that iron nail, but water cannot, so it dips in water very easily. Third number, acceleration due to gravity. Here acceleration due to gravity, upthrust is directly proportional to the acceleration due to gravity. If the value of acceleration due to gravity will be more, then upthrust will be more, and if the value of gravity is less, then upthrust will be less. So these are the factors affecting upthrust.